New from overnight, arson investigators are working to learn what sparked a church fire in southeast Atlanta. Crews arrived on the scene on Jonesboro Road and found the two-story building engulfed in flames. A sign out front identified the building as New Faith Full Gospel Church. Officials tell us it appears to be abandoned.
Well, the government is back in business. The nation's longest government shutdown is now over this morning after President Donald Trump signed a temporary funding measure into law last night.
As Fox's Doug Luzada reports from Washington, that capped off an intense debate on Capitol Hill.
It may take some time now to get the gears of government moving again, but the funding is now there, even if some of the underlying issues aren't going away. With a round of applause, President Trump added his signature to the bill to reopen the government, saying he wouldn't give in to Democratic demands.
Today we're sending a clear message that we will never give in to extortion, because that's what it was.
On this vote, the yeas are 222, the nays are 209. The bill is passed.
Just a short time earlier last night, the House finally passed the temporary funding bill, meaning those shutdown signs will come down, federal workers will return to the office with paychecks, air travel should return to normal incoming days, and SNAP food benefits will resume.
We feel very relieved tonight. The Democrat shutdown is finally over, thanks to House and Senate Republicans who stood together to get the job done.
There were a couple of Republicans who voted against the bill, but 6 Democrats crossed over to support the plan, despite overwhelming opposition within their party.
This fight is not over. We're just getting started.
The Democrats vowing to keep pushing for the extended Obamacare subsidies they had been holding out for. There will be a vote on that next month, and it could be an issue in next year's midterms, something the president also hit on.
So I just want to tell the American people, you should not forget this. When we come up to midterms and other things, don't forget what they've done to our country.
And most of what passed last night will expire at the end of January, so we could be in a very similar standoff early next year. In Washington, Doug Luzada, Fox News.
Well, the end of the government shutdown should lead to friendlier skies for travelers. Air traffic control staffing issues caused the FAA to restrict the number of flights, canceling more than 10,000 of them since last week.
And Good Day's Mark Teichner is live at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport with our developing story. Mark, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. What difference a couple of days can make. You know, us currently looking at about 86 cancellations here at Hartsfield, but that's both coming and going. So you have 43 flights that are leaving, and that pales in comparison to the number of cancellations we were seeing earlier this week and over the weekend.
I can't wait till it's over.
Cherie Berkowitz is happy the government shutdown is coming to an end. She's one of the many impacted by the FAA-imposed cutbacks. Berkowitz's original flight to Orlando was canceled. Her flight back to Atlanta delayed 2 hours.
I feel frustrated.
Those frustrations could be a thing of the past. Citing less air traffic controller call-ins, the FAA decided not to bump up its flight restrictions today from 6 to 8%. And with the shutdown now over, hopefully we'll soon do away with them altogether.
I think our air traffic controllers are seeing an end to the shutdown and feel more hopeful, and they're coming into their facilities.
Even though the shutdown has come to an end, aviation experts say it could still take a few days before things return back to normal.
Recovery should be relatively quick, most of it in a few days, and certainly in a week. We should be back to 100%.
And that's good news, because the busy Thanksgiving travel week is right around the corner.
We should be in good shape for Thanksgiving.
Obviously, that is great news for folks who are going to be traveling during that time. And just took a look at FlightAware. They're saying nationwide we're looking at 990 canceled flights, with the biggest airports impacted being Chicago, here in Atlanta, Denver, and Newark. Reporting live from Hartsfield-Jackson, I'm Mark Teichner. Good day, Atlanta.
All right, Mark, thank you. To Gwinnett County now, the search is intensifying for the district's next leader.
Yeah, the county's been looking for its next superintendent, and last night the group behind the search gave an update on that. So Good Day's Lindsay Tuman is joining us now with the details. And Lindsay, there's been a lot of community involvement with this.
This is something so many people are so glad to see. They say it was lacking the last time the district picked a superintendent, but this time around, from meetings to surveys, focus groups, and more, community members say they're pleased to see so much outreach for such an important role.
I think it's very important to have community involved, to have their voices.
Gwinnett County school leaders are listening to those voices during their search for the next leader of the school district. For months, the district has been utilizing the specialized consulting business Alma Advisory Group to aid in their effort to gather that community input.
Every voice matters in shaping the leadership that comes to take the superintendent role in Gwinnett County Public Schools.
The group is using surveys, focus groups, and gatherings to compile the qualities parents, teachers, and staff want to see in the next superintendent. Those traits will be top of mind as the school board begins recruiting candidates.
It's really important to us that we engage our parents and hear from them directly around what's working well, because we want our next leader to elevate and maintain that high level of achievement and excellence, but also what can we improve upon.
Community members say this is a change from how the school leaders brought on the previous superintendent, Dr. Calvin Watts. The board broke his contract at the beginning of the year after he was hired in 2021. The district's chief of schools, Dr. Al Taylor, has been serving in the interim. Now those involved in the process say they're glad to see so much focus on what parents want to see in a leader.
Parents have things to say, and they need to be able to say it. As we saw, they have a lot to say, right? We saw the students have a lot to say. And if you don't capture those voices, how do you find the right leader?
Well, the school board is going to use all the findings from these community outreach events that they've been having to put together a job posting. Then they'll start actually recruiting the candidates. And the goal is to have a new superintendent selected by the spring. So they certainly are working on kind of a tight timeline to do that.
A big job for whoever gets it.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Lindsay, thank you. A shakeup at the top of the Atlanta Federal Reserve. The president, Raphael Bostic, says he plans to retire next year after his 5-year contract expires at the end of February. Bostic says he plans to spend his final months trying to rein in inflation.
After his term expires, it'll be up to the Atlanta Fed's board of directors, which is made up of local business leaders, to appoint his replacement. Bostic became the first African-American and openly gay president of the regional Fed bank in its history when he took the job in 2017.